Going on, guys? MiniKhal here, coming at you with another video. This one is just kind of a little bit of a um, mini playthrough, I guess, of got the U 7.1 rewards. So definitely have quite a few extra T4s and just kind of where I am spending them. So like I said, I am still working on my symbiotes, just because I want them to hopefully at some point be able to auto these 7.2 nodes. So I've been kind of just looking at the symbiotes infographic, which is on the Discord page. I've basically done all the T4s that are outlined in red. Those are basically your T4s that are needed to really get the team to function and work correctly. So I've now drifted down into kind of what I call the orange T4s, and they're T4s that are really good. As the infographic says, but they really are primarily there to boost damage. And the idea behind it is if my symbiotes are getting to the point where they're almost timing out in fights, to me that says they're not putting out enough damage. So there's a couple ways to improve damage. One is going to be their abilities. Secondly is going to be their gear, and lastly is going to be their level. And then actually lastly, so fifth on the list is also going to be their yellow and red stars. So one of the problems with the symbiotes is, um, unfortunately, as far as my definition of farming goes, only one of them is directly farmable, and that's going to be Venom. Carnage is in the War Store, so he's semi-farmable. Symbiote Spider-Man is only in the Milestone Orbs, and again, that's only a chance that those are going to drop. So it's not a guaranteed thing. And then Anti-Venom and Scream, excuse me, are not farmable at all. You might get them in the basic orbs or in the mega orbs, but that's not really farmable in my book. So while I do have some good red stars on Anti-Venom, until I'm actually able to get him up to those star levels, they're really kind of pointless. So what I can kind of do for my symbiotes is basically the first three things. I can work on their abilities, I can work on their gear, and I can work on their levels. So right now, MiniKhal is at level 74. So I just dinged 74 this morning. So I will start kind of putting my training mats back towards the symbiotes. And again, I kind of do it in a priority of Symbiote Spider-Man first, followed by Anti-Venom, Carnage, Scream, and then Venom. So I actually got a little bit of these orange ones. So I am going to, yeah, just barely not get him to 74. But so put that in him. Basically, as I get the training mats, I will level them up. And then I will also go about basically increasing their gear as I can. I'm kind of doing that well, two ways basically. I'm buying the gear in the stores when that stuff is popping up, and the second part is I am working towards getting their gear farmable. That involves getting into the end game raids, which I'm obviously currently working on Mini, but it is a very slow process. So anyway, so while we're talking about T4s, of the orange T4s so far, I have done Scream's Basic, as you can see up here. I have done Symbiote Spider-Man's Special. So next on the list would actually be Anti-Venom's Basic, which is perfect because that's exactly more or less how many T4s I have available. So I'm going to pop that in. That should boost my damage just a little bit, an extra 50%. On top of it now, it's also doing a bonus 5% healing, and I think that does 2 random effects now instead of 1. I actually really should have clicked before. Yeah, so the T4 actually adds 2 random effects versus 1. So that should help a little bit. I don't think I have enough T4s to do anything else, but the next on my list on that little infographic is actually going to be Venom Special. So that will be the next one that I kind of pop off on my list. Just kind of going in, other kind of normal playthrough stuff that I just kind of try to keep track of. going in here, I will look for orange gear that is of use to me, purple gear that's of use to me, and it just kind of depends on what you're farming. With purple gear, I'm kind of doing a little bit more of a wider berth, and basically any purple mat that is not kind of like a unique piece. If it's under 100, I'm buying it, and that's just because Mini right now still has an abundance of gold. So I'm not really kind of hard pressed for resources in that regards. Um, Other things, Blitz store. I am doing these Blitz orbs. However, I'm holding off for the time being because Electro is actually going to get added to the Blitz store later this afternoon in about an hour or so. So I'd rather open those orbs then and at least just get some bonus Electro shards, hopefully. In the raid store, kind of the same thing I've been doing. I am farming Thor when I see him, just because I am still starting to work on legendaries. Just kind of the legendaries that I feel still kind of hold substance in the game and haven't been power crept too much, and just the ones that are kind of in Mini's reach. So I'm looking at Black Bolt, Ebony Maw. And Phoenix to some extent, but I really haven't started working on her yet. So, really, the two I'm focused on right now, Black Bolt, Ebony Maw, and then I do think Minnie is going to be able to get Jubilee on her second pass around. So that is also on my list. Other things I'm spending my raid credits on, I am doing it on these orange gear items that are needed by my symbiotes or Pimtech. I'm not as much farming purple gear here just because I'm a little bit shorter on the raid credits at the moment. But as I do get a larger abundance of those, I am spending them. In the arena store, still farming crystal. Again, that's going towards ebony maw. Um, and then after I finish crystal, I honestly haven't decided which way I will go next. But that's not anything I really need to be worrying about right now. In the war store, I am basically exclusively just farming ghost shards at the moment. I've kind of put the gear on hold off for the time being. I would just really like to get ghost to 5 stars as quickly as possible. Um, in the elite store, kind of the same thing. I haven't really seen anything I can spend my 100 elite credits on. There's just been no 6 stars that have really appealed to many. And yeah, so that's that. Go in for my raid orbs. I am starting to hoard them again, just because with Mini, I forgot where did I get with Bishop. I got 4 red stars on him, so kind of what I was shooting for. 4 to 5 stars is definitely a great place to start. Certainly, if you're planning to go a lot harder on Bishop, the more red stars he has, the better of a character he's going to be. Um, Before anyone calls me out for having 12 Bishop shards and saying, oh, Mini's free to play, Mini is still free to play. I did do another horrible spend, which I don't recommend for anyone, but Mini just has such a large abundance of power cores that I went in irresponsibly and I bought 2 of these marked man orbs. The idea behind that is if you get at least 12 shards through 2 blitz runnings, you'll actually unlock the character. I, again, wouldn't recommend this. It's a terrible use of your cores. The only time I would say it's even worth it is if you just do have a large abundance of cores. So, I mean, I would say if you're over 4,000 cores, it might be something to think about if there's a blitz character that's coming that you really want. Like I said, I think Minnie should be able to get Jubilee on her second pass. And actually, I think the only one that's going to be holding me back primarily is going to be Yellow Jacket and Wasp. I'm thinking what I'm probably going to do is I am going to get with the release of the 100 ghost slash cull obsidian shards. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to split them up a little bit. Mini doesn't need many shards to unlock all obsidian. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 of the ghost shards, so that'll be 75, and then 1 of cull obsidian just to unlock him. Certainly, that is, more of a personal opinion or preference. But that's what's going to work for Mini. It might not work for you. So kind of make the decision you're kind of shooting for. But like I said, I would like to get Jubilee on her second pass around. So I think in the next 3 months, which I mean, it seems like a long time, but Ghost should definitely be at 5 stars, if not higher. I'm thinking I should have Yellow Jacket on farm by that point. And then a Wasp I should have at 5 stars at the bare minimum. Um, Khaleesi, the goal is I should be able to get her to 6 stars. And on Dracarys, kind of again, I think I am planning just to unlock her. The only one that's holding Dracarys back is Stature and Ghost, but with those free shards, it shouldn't be a problem. Um, so anyway, that's just kind of where that is. So I'm just going to kind of go in here, open up some orbs. I will shoot through a blitz rotation, I guess, and yeah, I think that's just kind of what we're playing through today. So going in, since we did finish U7.2, or U7.1 rather, and got that 100% clear, we did get those bonus gold orbs. So just opening a couple of those up. I mean, I don't actually need gold. I've been sitting at this amount actually for quite some time. My large abundance of gold actually came from when I finished not Ultimus, when I finished Dark Dimension 1 and 2. Um, they were within pretty close proximity of each other, and I want to say that was about a month ago at this point. So I've had this large amount of gold for just about a month. Um, so anyway, um, keep on opening up these orbs, and I do apologize if I'm like looking off screen. I'm also playing on the other two accounts kind of while I'm doing this. Part of the multitasking fun. But anyway, so we'll just finish opening up the orbs, and these are basically all from the Ultimus 7.1 regular rewards plus the 100% completion factor. I don't subscribe to the orb hoarding. I never really have, even when there are rumored orb events. If it ever comes about where the event is actually happening and we get confirmation, I'll start saving then. But I've never been one to like save up because of a rumor. That's just not how I play the game. When those orb events have happened in the past, even with shorter notice, Khaleesi's still managed to do pretty well on those events. So, anyway, if you feel like you need to hoard orbs, that's your business. Play the game how you want to play it. But for me, I would have those resources. I like having access to them. I like physically being able to see them. And especially when it's stuff you could be using, you don't want to halt your progress for something that might happen. But anyway, so yeah, so that's just kind of everything opened up. I'm saving these elite credits. I got 4 stars on Bishop, which I think for MiniKhal is probably about the best I'll be able to get him up star wise, and even that'll be kind of pushing it. I'll definitely be able to unlock him, but I don't think I will get enough shards to get him to 4 stars, because essentially you need 180 for that. So between the two Blitz, Mini will just have just enough to unlock him. So I'm not going to waste any more of these Elite Fours or even the Red Stars. What I'm going to do is with Jubilee coming out in about a week, she will be having a Red Star event pretty soon. And the goal is again, I think she's going to be a very Red Star dependent character as well. So I want her to have as many Red Stars as possible as well. So, if I can get 5 red stars on Jubilee, that'd be awesome because, she unlocks at 5. So we'll see. Kind of no expectations. Going in, I'm going to collect my 6 p.m. energy, which is 5 p.m. for me now with the time change. And that also kind of leads me into what I've been spending my campaign energy on. And I have been working on the faux X-Men team that I've kind of built up. The idea is I am trying to get through the Nexus campaign. I actually managed to clear one of the nodes, which actually surprised me a little bit. I got my first node cleared, which was awesome. And I am working on the second node. I'm getting closer to being able to finish it. I didn't think I would actually be able to get much further until I unlocked Iceman. But I've done surprisingly well with Colossus, even though he is quite the slow character. Um, but yeah, so I've managed to get a little bit further, and what I've been kind of been doing is, um, after I'm adding anything significant, I try the node again and just see what happens. So I was leveling them up, but now that I've actually leveled up as a commander, my goal now is to refocus back to the symbiotes, get them all to 74, and then I'll try taking my X-Men mutants to 65. What I have done for most of them, I've taken them to gear tier 11. So Beast, X-23, and Kitty Pryde I am working on. She's got two more pieces before she's 11. And then Cyclops is the next one I will work on to 11. What I'm spending my ISO 8 energy campaign on. I am still trying to get all of my Pimtech to level 5 ISOs. So the only one left in that little cluster is going to be Ant-Man. Um, and I only have two more pieces left for Ant-Man, so he is almost done. Once I finish that up, my next focus will be basically those teams that I am taking in the campaigns. So I'll be looking at right now immediately kind of just those X-Men team, and then basically as I go I'll kind of start working on them. I don't want to focus too much ISO 8 energy in them, so if I don't plan on using them really outside of those campaigns, I'm only planning to take them to ISO level 3. So you'll see here with like Cyclops, X-23, I've taken to 3. Now, Beast and Kitty Pryde, I am planning to work on with the Axemen. So I've actually taken them a little bit higher than the others. Um, I think I'll actually eventually take them to the full 5. So I'm actually want to go in here, and I don't think I'm using support for anyone else. So I'm going to go in and just kind of pop Beast up a little bit. I am going to run out of ISO 8 energy, so I'll stop there. But that'll be something else I'll do. I think I can actually get Beast almost to ISO 8 level 5. I'll be short just this node right here, so I can at least get him to level 4. And what that'll do too for him as a healer is that's going to also boost him, give him an extra 10% health, which is just going to give him more sustain. So I'm definitely kind of working on that in the background. So while we're kind of talking about it, let's just go in, see if we can do anything better on that Nexus node. So you'll see here, I did manage to pitifully skate by and get a whopping 1 whole star on this one. I will have to go in and eventually 3-star it because I do want those superior isomers for my symbiotes, basically working towards getting them to gear tier 14. This node as well is going to be important for my Pimtech team. But for right now, I'm just trying to clear it. That way I can get myself into the Doom campaign, because my priority is kind of a combination of getting gear farmable, but I also want Yellow Jacket farmable as early as possible, especially if I am hoping to get Jubilee on her second pass. Like I said, I don't think it's realistic for Minnie that she'll be getting unlocked this first time around, but definitely hoping for the second time around. And like I said, in order to do that, I'll have to get um, I'll have to get Doom farmed basically because he's in the Doom campaign. Bear with me just a second. Um, so basically, what I've been doing is just kind of going in and attempting these nodes on a day by day basis. I basically try once in the morning when I spend a bulk of my campaign energy, and then I try again towards the end of the day just to see if I've made any progress. It essentially wastes 20 energy altogether by going in and if you basically get defeated, you still spend the energy. But it's good to kind of just kind of keep an eye on it. And at this point, really, all I'm trying to do is just clear the nodes. Not focused as much on 3-starring. Just really looking to get through the node. Um, One thing I was having a problem here with is Ultimus was deleting my Colossus really early on. So this fight I actually tried something a little bit different, and instead of ability blocking someone else, I ability blocked Ultimus just because I didn't want him deleting my my characters, basically, for lack of a better word. So let's see. Hopefully, I can get in and attack again before Ultimus gets to go. I don't want him deleting my Colossus. Um, is basically what was happening. So let's see if we can kind of survive through this. If I can get Ultimus down, I think I might be in a good spot. So now my worries, I don't like having these two symbiote Spider-Men on the field, so I'm going to go after them next. This so far is definitely the best I've done. Like I said, still having Colossus on the field is certainly helping. We need one more charge up for Cyclops, and he will be at full charge. And his ultimate should do a nice chunk of damage. I did just lose Kitty Pryde, and boom, just lost Colossus also. We'll see if the rest of these guys can kind of hang in there. We don't want Cyclops to get taken out before he's able to go, and never mind. So again, it is a wipe for me. Um, just kind of one of those things. You just kind of have to continually test your progress. Sadly, not too much progress today as far as that node, but I did manage to clear 8.7, so I guess I did make some progress. Hopefully by the end of the week, I should have 8.8 done, and then start working on 8.9. Other things kind of going on. I do still need to join the beta raid. I'll do that. And yeah, I think that's just kind of a nice little playthrough. I can go through and just do a quick blitz rotation. I don't do anything too fancy. I basically built up 28 teams, is what Mini's roster is able to do so far. I really haven't worked on them too much, so it's kind of just more of the same characters. I did need to go back in here and kind of fine tune it a little bit, but depending on I guess the mood I'm in, I'll either go in and kind of be a little bit more strategic with the opponents I'm facing, and I mean other times I'm just straight up lazy and I just kind of click through and whoever I get matched up with, cross my fingers, hope for the best, and it just kind of does what it does. Um, a blitz like Miles Morales, I'm not too invested in. So in a blitz like this, I just kind of click through and, whatever happens, happens. Um, on a character where I'm actually more interested in the actual character unlocking, um, I will kind of pay attention a little bit more with who I'm facing. Um, but yeah, enemies are my save blitz teams. I try to use synergized teams. I think I posted an infographic of kind of Kale's or Khaleesi's 30 blitz teams that I use. And I've tried to kind of emulate that on Mini a little bit with my limited roster. And so, yeah. And then other ones are just kind of like hodgepodge. Like this is a baby Sinister Six team with no Dr. Octopus, a Guardians team without Star-Lord, Supernatural, which I haven't worked on at all. What else do we got? We've got a Young Avengers team. So, it's just, I try to do the synergized teams just because even at the lower levels, they do have a better chance of winning. But because of the way my roster is and just how quickly we've progressed as a group, as well as how quickly this account has progressed, I do not have one of those big, wide rosters. Definitely more tall, where I've got essentially three teams that are really kind of built up at the moment. With the Axemen incoming, they're kind of working on a fourth team for me. That's definitely something that'll add to the bunch. But I think kind of what I'm focusing on mini is I'm not really looking at some of the older meta, um, just because I feel like by the time mini would be able to get those characters and have them unlocked, geared up, there's a new better team that's kind of come along and replaced them. So I think primarily what I'm going to be focusing on mini is kind of more the new meta, some of the newer teams. So, kind of teams I'm looking at, obviously the symbiotes, Pin Tech, I've gone pretty hard on. Um, I think another team I will be looking at is the Astonishing X-Men. And then, even to some extent, once full character releases get done, but I think I'll be looking at the Shadowlands team. It shows some really good promise. It's three characters that are already in the game, plus the addition of two new ones. So, pending on that, sometimes that is the potential recipe for a legendary. Um, who knows on that end? I would say probably the two teams that have a possibility of being a possible legendary unlock would probably be the Shadowland team or the Astonishing X-Men team. Astonishing X-Men probably more so as it follows the pattern of Ebony Maw's unlock, and he required a legendary to unlock him. But anyway, so I think that's kind of what Mini is going to be focused on. Those four teams for the time being. Sims get me through my raids. Pimtech is going to be getting me through a good chunk of Dark Dimension 3 and 4. Axemen, I think, are going to be another great raid team, and for the eventual Doom raids that we eventually will be getting into, other things I'm going to need to start working on Mini will be my Cosmic team for Dark Dimension 3 and 4, as well as my Legendary team for Dark Dimension 4, which is certainly a ways to go. But yeah, so I think Mini, that's kind of my focus. I'll be working on getting through those campaign nodes, and based off of those campaign nodes, I'll be building up certain characters. Hopefully, they can line in with some of the more meta teams I would like to start building, but that is certainly something down the road. Anyway, hopefully, this was informative, hopefully helpful as well. Hope everyone is having a good week. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you did find this video helpful. And as always, feel free to reach out to me either on Discord or in-game at any of the accounts. And any questions, comments, or concerns, as always, feel free to reach out to your Alliance leadership. Have a good one and take it easy.